You've just released a new data-focused product, ArcticDB. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about that, please?
If we think, and we talked about this a little bit a minute ago, the end-to-end value chain in front office finance. So lots of data from the outside world that might give us an insight into ultimately the behaviour of a financial market, and of course the steps of like quant modelling, portfolio construction, risk, execution, etc. If we want to understand at a basic level, at least the end-to-end there. Now, regardless of the form the data takes when it comes in from the outside world, and it might be numeric tables, it might be text documents, it might be anything. A modern data science workflow, you're typically not very far into that before you're dealing with like data frames of data. And what I mean by data frame, imagine something that simply might look like an Excel spreadsheet, but imagine that at an industrial scale, so hundreds of thousands of columns, millions or billions of rows.
Wow.
And the sort of complex quant modelling that we do within the firm might see a model that's composed of thousands or tens of thousands of these like very large frames of data. So what we've tried to do, given that data frame is a first-class concern that our investment professionals, they think in like data frames, that's the elements on which they perform computations, the elements of the back testing of models, elements of the portfolios. We've made data frame a first-class concern in the technology as well. So we call ArcticDB a data frame database, and what it does, it allows our investment professionals to interact with data frames, the natural unit of what we're doing here, in as seamless a fashion as possible. That's presenting it simplistically. Of course, it does lots of like clever stuff behind the scenes that are tuned to some of the problems in our industry. The point in timeness of data is important, not just knowing what data is now, what it looked like when it was published. That kind of bitemporality aspect that supports like complex backtesting, that type of thing. But think of ArcticDB simplistically as a data frame database for industrial scale Excel, if you like.
Incredible, and that leads perfectly on to my next question, and looking at the nature of these platforms, of automation, of this ability to scale. Do you see it more as a kind of a tool in the arsenal of these brokers? Is it something that can help them, or is it more actually just embedded right into the systematic side of things?
No, I think it's, well, I think its use like transcends like finance as a whole. So I certainly wouldn't pigeonhole ArcticDB as just a tool for a particular little corner of quant finance. I think it's anywhere that you're doing data science. If you're doing like data science, you're probably using Python nowadays. It's a seamlessly integrated part of the entire like data science Python ecosystem. So wherever you're using that technology, be it in quant, be it in discretionary space, and ultimately a lot of discretionary is itself like data driven, I think there's a place for it.